AI matchmaking is one of the key features of growth for MapD. Ticketing and badging is another key feature. Heat mapping, lead retrieval, and in-app navigation. But as far as the AI matchmaking, I mean, if you think of signing up for an event and you think of the exhibitors that are at the event, everybody wants to meet. That's why they're there.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Evan Gappelberg. He's the CEO of Nextech3D.ai. And Evan, welcome back. Good to see you again.
Great to see you, Steve.
So, big update for Maps Dynamic, your program that you have that really looks after sort of conventions and things like that. Maybe sort of remind everyone a little bit about Map Dynamics and really what this update is all about.
Sure. So the update actually extends way beyond just Map Dynamics. We highlighted Map Dynamics because it's one of our engines of growth. It has over 500 customers that come back year after year, 95% gross margins, which is quite impressive. We just completed the AWS migration, which boosts performance quite dramatically and allows us to scale the platform. We just hired a new sales rep, bringing a new pipeline of deals to the platform, to our business, which is going to spark some revenue growth. And we have another one or two sales reps. Each sales reps, we think, could bring in another $1 million in annual revenue. So we are expecting the platform to double revenue within the next 12 months. But really, Steve, the core of the story here extends beyond, MapD. If you go back to 2023, we had a pretty massive burn rate. Today, the burn's down to about $500,000 annually. It's a 98% improvement from where we were just a few years ago. And we're seeing demand in our 3D business, which we talked about earlier on a previous segment, but we're also seeing demand in the MapD business. So for us, the turnaround, and that's what this is in full motion. And today's news really speaks to that.
Let's talk about the AI matchmaking part of it, because in essence, what you're saying is that you're trying to sort of put all these entities together into a seamless platform. Explain to me how this works.
Sure. So AI matchmaking is one of the key features of growth for MapD. Ticketing and badging is another key feature. Heat mapping, lead retrieval, and in-app navigation. But as far as the AI matchmaking, I mean, if you think of signing up for an event and you think of the exhibitors that are at the event, everybody wants to meet. That's why they're there. And everybody's spending a lot of time and money. The challenge is finding the vendor, and the vendor finding the attendee. And so AI matchmaking takes all the hassle out of it. It basically from the exhibitor profile and the attendee profile, the AI is able to match the two profiles up and literally send an invite and book meetings for both the attendee and the exhibitor. So it does really make your event way more productive, Steve.
And you talk about the news release. You mentioned the salespeople that you're hiring, but the key to them is to go sort of beyond the convention part of it and look at other avenues. Music festivals is a great example. Those are usually so widespread and with multiple stages and things like that, depending how big it is. So you're suggesting that MapD could be a big part of a sort of an experience of a customer going to it.
Absolutely. From mapping the actual music festival out using MapD's platform to having navigation capabilities to know, where you're going, where's the bathroom, and having like an actual schedule of the performances really makes that a much more pleasurable experience for attendees. So yeah, I mean, that's a new opportunity for us. When you think of the new sales hire, they're bringing a book of business with them. I mean, that's the key part of the interview is, can you bring a book of business? And if the answer is yes, we hire them. If the answer is no, we don't. So we're not bringing people onto our company unless they can actually bring revenue. And the festival and public events market is kind of wide open for us, and so we're hiring in that space, and we're seeing results, Steve.
And lastly, 95% profit margin on this?
It is extremely high, and the reason is twofold. One is it's pure software, which means the tech does most of the work. So the only thing that we're paying for is essentially the sales guys, and as well as a little bit of support staff. But it's 95% gross profit margins, which is almost unheard of in this industry.
All right, Evan, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for the update. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Evan Gappelberg, the CEO of Nextech3D.ai.